So, you want to improve in your speech, in the way you communicate with others, and you don't know how? Well, the first foundational tip in what you need to do is to practice. So, I've been recording these videos for a while now, and if you look at the very beginning of my videos, I wasn't as confident, as articulate. Perhaps I was using ums or ers, some stuttering, lacking energy in my voice. But with time, with practice, continually working on my speech, I've made great improvements. And I'm no one special. You can too. What do you need to do? Practice. Easier said than done, right? Well, the problem is not in practicing, the problem is a matter of time management. Find the time in your week to practice speaking every single day. Now, you can do what I've done and put yourself in front of a camera. Force yourself to be in an uncomfortable situation. For most people, being in front of a camera, recording yourself, putting yourself online, it's not easy for a lot of people, but this will push your boundaries and you get to record yourself, see your recording, and listen back and look back to see how you've done. What was my problems with my body language? Should I have been in a different angle? How was my speech? Was I speaking quieter? Was I speaking too loud? How was I speaking in terms of my speed? Too slow in my speech or way too fast in my speech? And you really need to audit yourself, and hence why recording yourself is a great way in order to enhance your communication, to practice your speech. But you don't have to. You don't have to put a camera in front of yourself and record and put yourself up on the internet. You can practice just by speaking every single day in what would be ordinary situations. What does that mean? So, look at your day from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. How many people do you interact with? And how many people do you communicate with? So, you might communicate with your spouse, your family, in your house, whoever you're living with. You would communicate to maybe the someone who you speak to on your commute, the bus driver, someone you're sitting next to, the people at your work, the person in reception, your co-workers, all sorts of people you communicate with, people in the shops where you buy for lunch, maybe your neighbors. These are at least 10 people you would communicate with on a normal day. Now, how can you ensure you're speaking to them every single day? Just saying, hi, how are you? Engaging in some small talk will help enhance your communication. It gives you an opportunity to practice your speech, your communication. And then from there, working on that daily, you can now go beyond and expand to new people who you don't normally communicate with. So, for example, you could push yourself to buy lunch from a different store, a different restaurant, from a different cafe. And so you get to speak to more people. You can speak to other workers who you don't normally work with and just say, hi, how are you? I work in this sector. Nice to meet you. And talk about your work, what you do, and what they do. You can speak to other people outside your direct neighbors and just say, hi, I live across the road. Nice to meet you. If you don't know them already, just expand your mindset into how many more people can I speak to? Who else can I communicate with? And you have nothing to lose. This is a great opportunity for practice. You don't need to find some pen pal online or find some one-to-one coaching in order to practice speaking. You can speak to anyone. There are there's billions of people in the world, and there's dozens, maybe in the hundreds of people you would have interacted in your life on a daily basis. So practice. Find those opportunities to practice communicating with others and make sure you're keeping at it. Don't fall down, don't get nervous. It's a simple conversation. You can start with small talk, basic conversation. Hi, how are you? Then you can expand beyond that, talking more about yourself, your interests, the other person's interests and hobbies. People love to talk about themselves. So if you're nervous talking about yourself, just ask open questions. Ask more about someone's interests, what they like doing outside of their 9 to 5 or outside of their work. What are they passionate about? What's something they look forward to doing? These are great questions you can ask someone to help them open up about themselves, and that sets up for a great conversation. So, again, the key is to practice and to find opportunities to communicate with others, and you'll see your communication skills will skyrocket.